But actually now, Jake Paul has got to think about what he's doing next. If you're that good and you think you're clever, why don't you fight Usyk? Alexander Usyk, he'll fight you. Let's see how that works out for you. Get flattened. Game over.
And the number 14 cruiserweight in the world, according to the WBA. This is an absolute mockery. It's an absolute disgrace. It's a total piss take.
Able to fight voluntarily to defend their championship against Jake Paul. Which, if I'm being honest, that's kind of crazy, bro. Isn't that crazy? Right? You're telling me you fought somebody that's not a natural cruiserweight, right?
Boxing professionals and passionate fans are outraged by the WBA's stunning decision to rank Jake Paul among the top 15 cruiserweights. To many, this feels like a slap in the face to fighters who've dedicated their entire lives to earning their place through grueling wars inside the ring. Jake Paul, they argue, hasn't faced a single elite or even legitimate active contender, just aging ex-fighters or no-name opponents. This move has sparked boycott threats, as insiders demand the WBA restore credibility to a system that now seems to reward fame over fighting skill.
So I've just found out that Jake Paul, the YouTuber, influencer, who has been doing a bit of boxing against people who aren't boxers, aside from Tommy Fury, who is a complete novice boxer, and an old retired champion in Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who has been through rehab and all kinds of stuff, been out of the ring for quite a while. An OAP Mike Tyson, who physically is in a terrible place. And two now inactive cruiserweights called Andre August and Ryan Borland, who I have absolutely no idea who they are. I've just found out that that's what qualifies you as the number 14 cruiserweight in the world, according to the WBA. This is an absolute mockery. It's an absolute disgrace. It's a total piss take. I've been in the middle of making another video about Hamza Shiraz and Edgar Berlanga, and I've had to just stop what I'm doing and make a reaction to this. And I'm just gonna go in raw here because I'm absolutely furious. I'm absolutely furious. Like, this is the sort of shit that we have to deal with as boxing fans. Everybody in this sport, and I call it a sport because that's exactly what it is, tries to treat it like it's just a business, like it's just a way of lining their back pockets. You cannot tell me in any world that Jake Paul has done enough to be ranked as the number 14 cruiserweight in the entire world. And I want to be really clear from the off, this isn't actually an attack on Jake Paul's boxing ability, because that's not what this is about. It's about what have you done to show me you're the 14th best cruiserweight in the world. Because for all I know, you might put him in there and you might do really bloody well, but that's not the point. You have to earn that position. How can you have earned that position? By fighting a bunch of influencers, athletes from other sports, and having lost to one of the only active boxers that you've actually faced in Tommy Fury, who very much is a part-time boxer at this point in his life. And then your most recent and highest profile win being against a guy who didn't throw a bloody punch for...
The backlash intensified after Happy Punch confirmed the WBA now officially lists Jake Paul as the number 14 cruiserweight, meaning he's eligible to challenge for Zordo Ramirez's world title. Many within the sport are stunned. Paul's resume, they say, lacks any real challenge. His opponents are either past their prime or barely known, while genuine contenders bleed for years to break into the rankings. Now, those very fighters may be forced to consider fighting Jake just to defend their honor and status, an outcome that has deeply unsettled the boxing world.
Win a world title. Jake Paul, after beating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., has now been moved to number 14 in the WBA official rankings, meaning he can be a voluntary defense for Zurdo Gilberto Ramirez's world title. But this is now where we need to beg the question of what is wrong with these rankings, because there is no world where Jake Paul is the 14th best cruiserweight. What do we do? What's boxing got to do to save this? Is it go to a one belt division like the UFC have, or is it just for the divisions that we've got and the belts that we've got to actually just sort themselves out? Make sure you subscribe for the updates, we'll keep it coming, but this is mental.
As criticism mounted, many insiders accused the WBA of chasing profit rather than preserving the sport's integrity. Jake Paul's ranking appears to be more about financial upside than ring accomplishment. This prioritization of money over merit risks alienating longtime fans and damaging the credibility of the cruiserweight division. For many fighters who fought their way up through pain and sacrifice, this feels like a betrayal and a blatant reminder that the business of boxing may be eclipsing its values.
After defeating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., the WBA decided to give Jake Paul a ranking. According to them, he's the 14th best cruiserweight boxer in the world. I know they're trying to push him for a title shot and it's the show business and whatnot, but you're disrespecting all the cruiserweight boxers with this one. And to even be ranked, aren't you supposed to actually defeat someone who's ranked? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. hasn't been.
Jake Paul's win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. undeniably boosted his status, but many argue the victory is inflated. Once dismissed as a novelty act, Jake is now positioned as a legitimate threat. With this win, champions are being forced to acknowledge him. But critics argue the path to this moment was far too easy, questioning the quality of opposition and the legitimacy of his meteoric rise.
So now that Jake Paul won his fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., he's apparently ranked top 15 cruiserweights in the world. And apparently, I guess now, world champions are able to fight voluntarily to defend their championship against Jake Paul. Which, if I'm being honest, that's kind of crazy, bro. Isn't that crazy? Right? You're telling me you fought somebody that's not a natural cruiserweight, right? And now you're automatically ranked top 15 and you can fight a couple of world champions and it makes sense. Not that I think he beats any of them. I'm gonna be completely honest. I can't see it, bro. If Jake ends up beating somebody, yo, shout out to him. He finessed his way to the fucking top and a world champion and really like cemented himself into the history books. But the way that he boxes, he's just very sluggish. It's kind of slow. You know, I think any cruiserweight world champion, even Badu Jack, will defeat him. And I actually don't even understand why he even wants to fight Anthony Joshua, besides the bag, obviously. But what do you guys think, though? This whole shit has gone crazy.
Skeptics quickly pointed out that Chavez Jr. was a shadow of his former self. In their bout, Julio offered little to no resistance, barely moving, barely throwing, and offering no true challenge. Jake Paul's win felt more like a scripted session than a true contest. Praising him for this performance felt disingenuous to many, especially those who've seen what real, hard-fought wins look like in the sport.
He did not throw barely any punches for the first half of the fight.
More than half. First 8 rounds, you might say.
Yeah, and a little life at the end, but too late when he knew the fight was winding down on time. I say this, that it was hard for me to gauge the performance of Jake Paul. It's essentially a sparring session, and I'm trying to see, is he continuing, is he developing, is he getting better? And off of this fight, it was hard to gauge when you're fighting a puncher bag, but then towards the end of the fight, I thought he was exposed. The stamina started to dip, the defense wasn't tight, there were some technical flaws, you could find them, you could hit them. In the end, he gets a decision, he gets another win, he keeps his show moving on. What'd you make of this fight? What'd you think of Jake Paul and his performance overall?
Making no excuses for Jake Paul. Give him credit for what he's done with his career, with his promotion, with his business, with his dream. Give him credit. Give the guy credit. God almighty, he takes risks.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has long been known for underwhelming performances and personal struggles. With rehab stints and missed training camps on his record, few expected him to show up as a real challenge. Critics believe Jake's team knew this, deliberately choosing a recognizable name that came with low risk. It was a calculated move, one that may have helped Jake's ranking but did nothing to convince purists of his worthiness.
As Junior, one guy performed, one guy did what he was supposed to do, brought the fight in, and one guy just didn't. And if I'm talking about Jake Paul and a former world champion, you'd think that what I'm about to say favors the former world champion. And then you realize I'm talking about Chavez Jr., and then you say, no, well, okay, we have to flip those because Chavez Jr. is known for disappointing on the biggest stage, and that's what happened again here. I cannot tell you how disappointed I am in watching Chavez Jr. over the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds throw a total of 36 punches. I didn't say land. That's not what I said. I said throw. Chavez Jr. threw 36 punches over 5 rounds. And out of the 36 he threw, he landed 8. 8 punches through 5 rounds. 15 through 6. 20 through 7. He landed 20 punches through 7.
Some praise did come from inside the boxing world. Rayo Vallenilla complimented Jake Paul's growth and ring presence, suggesting that his efforts are starting to earn respect from fellow professionals. But even then, questions remain: was this praise a sign of genuine recognition, or simply a nod of sportsmanship? Because one win over an inactive and underperforming fighter doesn't justify a leap into the elite.
I missed you, I want to get your reaction to the fight.
Oh, great fight.
Julio's back after all he's been through, so, I tip my hat off to him. It's not easy, especially through, what life throws at you sometimes, but, it was a good fight.
What'd you make of how Jake Paul looked and fought?
He doing his thing. Jake Paul's looking good. Shout out to him. Yeah.
Do you think he's ready to fight maybe a top 15, top 20?
Sure, yeah.
So I guess where does Junior go from here in your opinion?
It's up to him. He can retire if he wants, or he can have another, fight like this. Fight a YouTuber or something.
Yeah. In terms of you, Rayo, when can we see you back in the ring?
I'll be back in the fall, hopefully.
The fall?
Yeah.
Do you have an opponent in mind?
Nothing set in stone.
All right. Hey, just want to get your thoughts. The rematch between Lamont and Roach, how do you see it? Between Tank and Roach.
That's a good fight. 50-50 fight, like the first fight. I'm going to go, I don't know, whoever.
Finally, Canelo and Crawford. Break it down.
That's a good fight, man. That's a good fight. It's hard to count Crawford out, man, because he's just a dog. And if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Crawford or Benavidez, So, Crawford, I don't know. I'm 50-50.
All right, Rayo, thank you.
Thank you.
Jake Paul's ambitions clearly extend far beyond his current resume. His call-out of Canelo Alvarez for a world title shot at cruiserweight raised eyebrows and revealed his savvy for spectacle. While many admire the audacity, others see it as more headline-chasing than career-building. A fight against Canelo would bring immense money, but would it bring any sporting legitimacy?
I mean, this moment will prove that I'm the face of boxing, the largest attraction, and me versus Canelo at 200 pounds for the cruiserweight championship of the world. It's even bigger than me versus Tyson, and it makes so much sense. Canelo's on his way out. He's gonna want a payday, and I want to show the world that all the shit I've been talking about beating Canelo is actually true, and I'll have the biggest upset in the sport of boxing. Show that I have more followers than, etc. This is gonna be the most watched fight of the century, so I'm gonna be the new money man.
There's also growing skepticism around how Jake's fights are structured. Observers say they feel prearranged, more performance than combat. Some opponents appear to be more interested in collecting a check than putting up a fight. This perception casts a shadow over Jake's rise, with many questioning whether what they're watching is a genuine sporting journey or a high-priced scripted show.
As you are watching this video, Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez are currently right now in the 7th round of their fight. But when you go to Google and Google the fight, it gives an accurate breakdown of all their past fights. And then it comes to the current fight, and it says that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. loses a unanimous decision to Jake Paul in 2025. The fight has not even played out yet. Yet they're saying that this is the end results as they are fighting right now, currently as it stands. This leans testament to the fact that people state that Jake Paul has his fights fixed. What's your thoughts on this? This is nasty work. Unbelievable. This is Google. Google it yourself. Pete.
Jake's ability to generate money has made him irresistible to many fighters. For opponents, fighting Jake isn't about legacy, it's about a guaranteed payday. This shift has warped boxing's priorities. Athletes once fought to prove themselves. Now, they're adjusting weight and calling out Jake Paul just to cash in. That shift, from grit to greed, is what many say is truly harming the sport.
I just saw KSI saying that he's gonna fight Jake Paul in 6 months. What the fuck is this? Another celebrity bullshit scam? Nah, none of that fucking bullshit. Jake Paul, I will fight you. I'm a fucking nobody. I'm no washed up legend, no fucking celebrity. I'm nothing, I'm nobody. But I will fight you. Give me 6 months. I will be the one to step in that ring with you. And I'll fight you for real. All smoke, all heart, all grit. That's what it really takes. That's what boxing fans fucking deserve. Yo, everybody, if you're watching this, add Jake Paul, tag him, do whatever it takes. Let's make this happen. It won't be KSI, another fucking celebrity, another fucking bullshit, fucking wasted boxing scam. It will be me, someone with no background, no experience, no nothing. I come from nothing, and I'll fight him. I'll give everybody else, I'll give everybody the fight they deserve. We wanted to see Iron Mike knocking down his ass. You know what? I'm here to finish the job. Let's make this fucking...
The WBA's decision to rank Jake after a questionable win has ignited fan fury. For loyal boxing supporters, it's more than frustration, it feels like betrayal. While hard-working contenders grind through the ranks for years, a YouTuber with strategic matchmaking gets vaulted past them. For many, this is the moment boxing officially sold out.
So after Jake Paul's win against Chavez Jr., he's officially ranked number 9 in America for the cruiserweight division and number 70 in the world, which this is ridiculous. Chavez Jr. was retired. How can beating him mean that you're top 10 in the cruiserweight division when there's actual fighters and prospects that's been working their way up? This is crazy. He's fought at heavyweight, he fought Astrick at whatever weight, but he's only fought 2 real boxers, Tommy Fury and now Chavez Jr. And an 80-year-old Mike Tyson, there's no way he should be ranked in the top 10. They're already calling for a fight with him and Zurdo Ramirez, which is ridiculous. I feel Jake Paul loses to any young prospect in boxing right now. Any one of them takes him out. Seems like the sanctioning bodies are just trying to cash out real quick before this little era is over. It's bringing a lot of, popularity and notoriety to boxing. A lot of new casual fans are coming to the sport, so I guess it's good putting boxing back on the big stage. But this is cancerous for the sport itself. Aside from all the glamour and viewership, this is cancerous to the sport. We see how they just...
Fans were especially disturbed by how the Chavez Jr. fight ended. Julio's final round output seemed forced, like he was going through the motions just to survive the final bell. Jake's entire boxing path has been riddled with whispers of scripted fights, and this bout only added fuel. Facing aging or faded opponents has become the norm, and for many, these wins don't count.
Welcome back to the Pain Game. Today we're going to talk Darren Till versus Tommy Fury / John Fury, of course. But first, some more important and quite serious news in the combat sports world. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, it's come out now. It was rigged. I can't believe it. You have to question the validity of boxing these days when you can't trust 2 professionals to get in the ring and do their best against each other. And instead you find out Mike Tyson pulling his punches, not trying to hurt Jake Paul. Absolute disgrace. I thought better of them. I really did. I thought that Mike Tyson, especially Iron Mike, he was just going to go in there and knock Jake clean out. But here he is, not trying. I'm so disappointed.
Boxing legend Carl Froch summed up what many insiders are thinking. He didn't hold back, calling Jake a clown fighter and challenging him to face someone like Alexander Usyk if he truly wants respect. Froch dismissed Jake's so-called knockout power, saying it's untested against real talent. Until Jake steps in with a serious contender, Froch says, he'll remain a product of marketing, not merit.
He's useless. Who said Jake Paul's got power? It's like he's hitting him with a feather duster, just flicking it in his face. It does make you question them wins he's had, where he's hit him with one shot and they fell on the floor like they've been tasered. Can you imagine that being my dream fight and my biggest payday? Fighting a clown. Jake Paul don't know what to do with himself when he's under pressure. He's on his back foot looking at the floor, probably closing his eyes. It's fair to say he's absolutely useless, isn't it? Jake Paul. He can't fight, can he? I reckon looking at that, how many rounds do you think I need to beat Jake Paul? Seriously, 2 rounds or a round? 1 round? Is that the end of Jake Paul now or what? He's absolutely useless.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss what happens next in this wild chapter of boxing history.